Hey everyone, buckle up, because today's deep dive is gonna be a wild one.
It really is.
We're diving headfirst into a scientific paper
Yeah,
that could totally change how we think about extraterrestrial life.
definitely.
Forget little green men for a second.
Yeah, right.
We're talking about something even weirder. Plasmas.
Yeah.
You know, those strange glowing things people see up in the sky.
Yeah.
What if those aren't just atmospheric quarks, but like actual pre-life forms hanging out way up in the thermosphere?
It's a fascinating idea, isn't it?
It really is. And this paper we're looking at, published in the Journal of Modern Physics, uses years of research and even space shuttle encounters to back up this claim.
It's amazing how this paper really makes you rethink the whole concept of life as we search for it out there.
It really does. Okay, so the paper's main argument is that these mysterious glowing objects, the ones people often call UAPs or UFOs, could actually be these plasma structures.
Yeah.
But before we go full X-Files, let's break down what plasmas even are.
Think of it this way. You've got your solids, liquids, gases, all the usual suspects.
Right.
Plasma is like their supercharged cousin. It's matter, but it's buzzing with energy.
So instead of those nice, neat atoms, we're talking about a jumble of charged particles going nuts.
Exactly. And all that energy means these particles can do some pretty crazy stuff.
Stuff like what?
Well, think about lightning during a thunderstorm.
Okay, yeah.
That's pure plasma in action.
I'm starting to see where you're going with this, but
Mhm.
what makes anyone think these plasmas are acting even remotely like something alive?
This is where it gets really interesting. Scientists have seen these plasmas in the thermosphere way up high in our atmosphere, and they're not just floating around randomly.
No.
No, they're changing shape, moving around in what looks like a deliberate way, even interacting with each other.
You're kidding. Like they're playing some cosmic game of tag.
It's kind of like that. Researchers even describe it as a predator-prey dynamic, with some plasmas seemingly chasing after and absorbing others.
Whoa. Okay, you've officially blown my mind, and we haven't even gotten to the space shuttle part yet. This paper talks about actual observations from those missions, right?
Absolutely. And that's where things get even weirder. They highlight this one mission, STS-75, where they had a tethered satellite system that was basically sending out electromagnetic pulses.
Oh yeah, vaguely remember that. Wasn't there some insanely long cable they were floating out there?
Oh yeah, we're talking 12 miles long, just hanging out in orbit, sending out signals. Wild.
Totally. And as it was doing its thing, hundreds of these plasma structures showed up and started swarming around it. They were moving all over, even touching the tether.
Okay, now that's just straight out of a movie. So what did NASA make of all this?
Their first reaction, let's just say it wasn't exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
They tried to brush it off as reflections, space debris, even thought they were seeing the Mir space station at one point.
You're kidding.
Nope. But the astronauts who were actually up there, seeing it firsthand,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't buying it.
Well, I mean, I'd hope the astronauts would know what they were looking at. Right, and get this, some of the ways they described these plasmas were pretty strange. One even said it was like a metallic cloth.
Okay, yet space debris doesn't usually sound like that.
Not quite.
Okay, so we've got glowing orbs, space shuttles, skeptical scientists. This deep dive is already off the charts. I have a feeling we're just getting started though, right?
Oh, you have no idea. Get ready, because it's about to get even weirder. We're about to jump into the world of UFO sightings, historical accounts, and even the possibility that plasmas might hold the key to how life itself began.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. We've got these plasmas acting all strange up in the thermosphere. But how does this tie in to all the other UFO sightings people talk about?
That's a great question, and the paper actually addresses that. They suggest that these plasmas might be drawn to strong sources of electromagnetic energy.
So like thunderstorms. All that electricity crackling around, it'd be like a plasma buffet.
Exactly. They're suggesting that plasmas could be attracted to the huge energy bursts from thunderstorms, which might explain why people report seeing weird lights in the sky during or after storms.
Yeah, makes sense. It's like moths to a cosmic flame or something. Speaking of strange lights,
Yeah.
what about those Foo Fighters pilots saw during World War II?
Ah, yes. The glowing orbs that seem to mess with those planes.
Right. Always thought it was some kind of secret weapon or something.
That was a popular theory, yeah. But the descriptions, their movements, the glowing, it does sound a lot like the plasmas we've been talking about.
Okay, yeah, it really does. So we've got these potential explanations for glowing orbs, historical UFO sightings, but this paper takes it even further, suggesting a link between these plasmas and the very beginning of life itself. That's a pretty big leap, don't you think?
It is a bold statement, but the reasoning is quite interesting. What they're proposing is that these aren't just any plasmas. We're talking about dusty plasmas, ones with bits of carbonaceous chondrites.
For those of us who haven't brushed up on our space rocks lately,
Yeah.
what's so special about carbonaceous chondrites?
Oh, well, imagine them like cosmic time capsules.
All right.
They've got organic molecules inside, including amino acids, which are basically the Lego blocks of proteins.
Oh, wow, I see. So we've got this space dust packed with the stuff life needs, all swirling around in these energized plasmas.
Precisely. And the paper proposes that this mix could be the perfect recipe for those very early stages of life, what scientists call the RNA world.
Right, the RNA world, the time before DNA evolved.
You got it. These dusty plasmas with all their energy and organic molecules, they might have been the perfect primordial soup for RNA to pop up and eventually become the DNA-based life we see now.
So are we saying that instead of life starting in some warm little pond, it was actually these dynamic electric plasmas that were the cradle of life? That's kind of mind-blowing.
It really makes you think differently about where we fit in all of this, doesn't it? It highlights just how much we still have to learn about the universe and the possibility of life as we don't know it.
This is all incredibly cool, but we should remember that this is still just a hypothesis, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's grounded in actual observations and what we know about physics and chemistry.
Even if it turns out these plasmas aren't the key to life itself, the evidence from those space shuttle encounters is pretty hard to ignore.
Agreed. It forces us to open our minds about what life could be, where it might exist, and what we might find as we keep exploring.
So we've gone from these mysterious lights in the sky to the potential for life arising from plasmas. It's making me wonder, have we been looking for extraterrestrial life in the wrong places all along?
It's a humbling thought for sure. We've been so focused on finding another Earth, another planet with oceans and continents, that we may have overlooked totally different forms of life thriving in places we thought were impossible.
It's like we've been looking for needles in a haystack when we should have been searching for sparks in a lightning storm. But this paper doesn't just leave us hanging with these mind-blowing ideas, does it? There's more.
You're right, it goes even further. While it makes a strong case for plasmas explaining some UAP sightings, it also says that not all those sightings fit that mold.
You're talking about the really strange ones, right? The ones
Yeah.
that even have the government scratching their heads?
Exactly. There are reports, often with radar data and even military footage to back them up, that simply can't be explained by anything we know.
Yeah, like those tic-tac things Navy pilots keep seeing zipping around at crazy speeds. Those don't exactly scream plasma, do they?
Not really. The paper acknowledges those really weird cases, suggesting that there might be different types of UAPs out there, each with its own explanation.
So we've got our plasmas, maybe explaining those glowing orbs and some historical sightings. And then this other category, the stuff that seems to defy physics as we understand it.
It's quite a puzzle, and as the paper points out, we just don't have all the pieces yet. But the fact that we're even having these discussions, that serious researchers are looking into plasmas as the starting point of life, that governments are finally admitting that UAPs are a real thing to investigate. It feels like something big is happening.
It does, doesn't it? Like we're on the edge of a whole new era of discovery, pushing past the limits of what we thought we knew about life, the universe, everything.
It's pretty exciting and maybe a little bit scary too, right?
For sure. But I wouldn't have it any other way. This whole deep dive has been a fantastic reminder that there's still so much out there to uncover, to understand, to just be amazed by.
It really makes you realize how much we don't know, how much mystery is still swirling around us.
And that's the best part, right? There's always something new to learn, always another layer to peel back. Who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting for us just beyond what we currently understand.
It's definitely an exciting time to be curious about the universe.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the wild world of plasmas, UFOs, and the mind-blowing possibility of life as we don't know it.
A huge thank you to everyone listening for joining us on this incredible journey.
And don't forget, this conversation doesn't end here. Head over to our website to share your thoughts on this mind-bending topic. We want to hear your perspectives. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never lose that sense of wonder.